Welcome to the Pride Passion Drive podcast with your hosts, Bob and Phil.
Hey guys, it's Bob and Phil. He's back. This is Pride Passion Drive podcast, and today we're here with Jeff Del Corvo at Grease Gold Exchange here in West Ridge Road. What's going on, Jeff?
What's up, guys?
Your brother Mark might be slipping in here sooner or later, but until then,
Late as usual.
So what's going on? How you been?
Pretty good. Business is going good. We're rolling. Glad to have you guys here.
Yeah, I was glad to get you on the podcast, get an episode with you. Since you guys opened yourself, what's it been, a year and a half, 2 years?
2 years.
You guys just crushing it.
Yeah,
Crushing
we're fair.
it.
We're honest. Take care of people.
Crush it. So, just get a little backstory on where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school?
Grew up in Hilton. Graduated 09 Hilton. Been Hilton my whole life until we've just moved out to Spencerport.
That's
Little
right.
change of scenery. Actually, Brockport, Spencerport, somewhere in the middle.
Still a West Sider though.
Still West Sider. Probably always will be.
Nice. So, Grease Gold and Tech Exchange. You got a little. You're with Joey, who we talked to a
Yep.
couple weeks ago.
Yep, we opened up the
The-
estate marketplace a year after opening up this one.
That's been crushing as well.
Yep,
'Cause-
Joey's a monster.
Yeah, Joey's a monster. And so, how did this all come about? How do you go from high school at Hilton to this?
I always enjoyed buying and selling, and I always had dreams of opening up a business. And sooner or later, I just got there. You know, we started with trading comics, video games, anything I get my hands on, and then really it just kind of morphed, and we just kept rolling with it. Got my brother on board. He's a lot more patient and a lot more specialty than I am, and I think his add-on is really attributed to where we're at right now. And the service we could provide is definitely next level.
Yeah, I've noticed over the years you've kind of like I touched on with Joey, you've like fine-tuned it to where each one of you guys has a specialty. You're into coins and watches. Your brother's doing, Mark's
Diamonds,
doing
jewelry
jewelry.
repair.
You know, if you got a sports card, go see Joey. I mean, you always
Yep.
have that. You guys are really honed in on what works, what doesn't.
Yep.
You guys really go all out here. I mean, you buy anywhere from gold and silver to DeWalt drills to, like you said, just fair.
Yep.
How have you made it work? That's kind of different than other business platforms or quote unquote pawn shops and stuff. How'd you just go from? You say I'm going to do everything. We're gonna make everything work.
So the pawn shop thing is tough because that label immediately sends a red flag. So we try really we don't try to change the viewpoint that people have. We just encourage people to come in and just see the place, because as soon as they hear pawn shop, again, it's a red flag. They're like, probably going to offer me 10 cents on the dollar. It's not us. And as soon as you walk in, and if you talk to people that have come in, they'll say, wow, this place is really nice. You know, they're shocked, which is it's a good thing. We'd like to take that further and impress people. So, we try to do a good job of just explaining everything, over-explaining everything. And, again, the specialty thing is huge, being able to, divide and conquer. I do the coins and watches, so I can take it to the next level. My brother does the jewelry and diamonds. He could take it to the next level. And providing that extra service is the difference when it comes to getting more for your money and actually knowing what the stuff's worth, and being able to educate our consumers and our customers, I think, is the biggest thing.
Yeah, I've totally seen that. You know, between being in the shop or when I'm around, it's always, oh, I got this coin. Hold on, we get Jeff.
Yep.
And it just kind of, you can see how much easier it is, like you said, for the
Yep.
customer, just to be like, oh, this is a 1934 or such and such.
Yep.
It's not like, oh, I don't know, I think it's this, so here, I'll give you $2
Yep.
for it. And so yeah, I've definitely seen it in action, and
It's not like Pawn Stars where we got to call in an expert. We try to pride ourselves on being the expert.
exactly, for sure. And like I've seen you guys over the years come from where you came
Yeah.
to here, and it always just amazed me, just like I told Joey, how you guys are just, over time, it seems like you've been here like 10 years
Yep.
with the amount of how fast you guys learn and adapt, and I think that's one of the other reasons why you're so successful, is
I
that
appreciate that.
a lot of the maybe the older guys or the guys around that have been doing it so long, they're just stuck in their old ways, you
Yeah.
know?
And there's some other good shops out there. They're definitely, I encourage people to shop around and just like anything else, you know, whenever you're making a decision, especially a life decision like that, if you're parting with a collection or if you're parting with, you know, some assets, you know, shop around, you know, get educated, come talk to me. We're fair, you know, we'll break things down. We'll help with the process. So it's a lot to detach yourself from stuff, especially if we deal a lot in, you know, it's a family member's collection. So, you know, someone passed away and, you know, the person that's bringing it in doesn't really know what this is. So it's nice to hear, you know, on our side of what it is, you know, get the full explanation versus just being in the dark with what you got, you know.
For
And
sure.
just a number, you know, put it on the table, $50, $100, you know, we break it down. We want to explain, we want you to be, you know, educated.
Yeah, transparency.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a big thing with us.
Has there ever been anything really interesting that's come into the shop that kind of baffled you guys that you had to do some extra research on?
Yeah, all the time, you know.
What,
we use expert loosely.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's fair. How about anything that you were surprised to see walk into the shop?
Yeah, definitely some stuff that would probably bore, you know, people listening right now, but like different coins, different comic books, unless you're into those, you know, for me and for, you know, my brother, we're like, wow, this is cool because we know what it is, but if
Mhm.
you're not an enthusiast, you'll kind of just be like, well,
Yeah.
an old Russian gold coin's not that cool, you know, it's 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional, it's just got two sides and it's like, it's just gold.
That's cool.
But to us, you know, it's like, wow, this is a treasure.
Mm.
And that's the fun part about it too, I think, is every day is a little treasure hunt with what comes in. And it's cool that it's here in Rochester,
Right.
you
Right.
know. There's little bits of wealth all over this place, and we get to see that and interact with the people that collect it, which is cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you got Kodak. You got a lot of things people don't
Wegmans.
know. Yeah, Wegmans is huge. There's a lot of history here locally.
Tons.
They just pass through your doors, I'm sure.
Tons and tons and tons. We get to see a lot of cool people that have excellent stories too, of where the stuff come from, or how they got into it, or how their parents got into it. That's always cool too, to see that side of it.
Mm.
What's your favorite aspect of it? I mean, obviously you're the watch and comic guy. I mean, are those just your favorite things, or is that why you took those kind of disciplines on?
I kind of morphed into it. You know, it's a luxury thing, so they're of course priced a little higher, so that helps because it's obviously better money. But as my taste kind of developed, you know, the watches just kind of drew me. You know, they're little time capsules on your wrist that, you know, can be really expensive. So that draws you as a business owner. Like, wow, I could buy and sell these and make a decent living.
Mm.
So
And how is that in the age of technology, in the age of Fitbits and Apple Watches?
there's a lot of controversy on it. You know, there's watches are going away, but you know, if you look at the forums, if you follow everything that's going on, it's like, well, not really.
Yeah.
They are getting more specific. Specific people are going to continue to wear them. It's going to be a certain population with a price. You know, some vintage Rolexes are going through the roof, like crazy.
Sure, so you got the collector's aspect.
Yep.
And then, like, you know, I almost never wear anything on my wrist, but if I get dressed up or go to a wedding,
Come
I
see
wear
me.
a real watch. Right? Yeah. I mean, so people are still wearing them. Even if they wear the Apple Watches, they don't wear them. A lot of times they'll switch it out for
Yep.
a night out or for...
I tried the Apple
So-
Watch too, and I liked it. But again, the notification thing drove me mad. You know, this wearing a vintage timepiece, it gives you like so you knew someone wore it before you who might have been like you can live in that era too. I guess that's the biggest thing. I guess I'm trying to get out. You know, you're wearing something from the 60s or 70s. You almost feel like that Mad Men type admin guy. You know, you could throw a nice suit on and just feel that mode. You know, so
For
you
sure.
can't get that with an Apple Watch. You know.
No, yeah. Yeah, it's
That's
understandable.
You know.
Do you,
So, oh, go
do you,
ahead.
no, yeah. Do you ever have items come in here that you purchase for your own personal collection?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's something you've had come through that you were like, all right, I have to have this?
There's a lot, and people always, you know, when something really nice comes across the table, a lot of times the customer will be like, I know you're going to take this home. And, you know, I smile and I try to tell them, you know, it's a business and we have to make money. So, you know, I'll be fair with you. But if it is something that I do want for myself, 9 times out of 10, I'll tell them that so that there's that transparency. But there's times where it came through the door, it sat on my desk, and then I was like, you know, I kind of want that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's
You
fair.
different things will grow on you,
Mhm.
you know. Most of the time it's watches, but there's a few coins and comics I've taken home too. You know, I've nerded out a few times, so.
That's funny.
So what's next for you guys, for EMP, for State Marketplace, for here, for I mean, I know it's kind of a difficult question because a lot of decisions you guys make, you learn on the fly, and it works or it doesn't, and then you regroup. But I'm sure there's some sort of planning. I know Joey's got some planning.
I'm glad you asked that. I mean, these two businesses we're definitely going to continue to develop and grow and get better for our customers. But as you mentioned, it's Gold and Tech Exchange. We are dropping the tech and actually expanding that to its own store, and we're going to call it Rocktronics. You may have seen it on Facebook, and that's the next game plan. So it'll be a third shop open specifically for used electronics, collectible electronics like video games, PCs, gaming stuff. So that's the part 3.
Okay.
So
That's kind of just become so big you need your own.
yeah, I mean,
its own area.
I think with here, when we first opened, we were kind of broad and we needed to be. But now that we're getting into more specialty, we don't want to confuse our customers with they're selling a nice timepiece and then a TV walks in the door. It's just kind of confusing. And not that it's a bad thing, but it just will be nicer to just have everything be more simple,
That makes
simplified.
sense.
So Rocktronics will be our expansion and into the tech world, and I think that's a great market that I always wanted to be in, and I don't want to lose. So, and I think we do it better than everybody else does it. So,
Very cool.
Then you also have 585 buy sell.
585 buy sell is in the works too. We'll see what happens. It's been, me,
Yeah.
I'm all over the place, so I'm trying to make everything a little bit more specialty shop. I think is the way to go. It makes more sense for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you still utilize eBay.
eBay's huge for us. Yep, you can find us on eBay at 585 Collectibles and Tech, and then the jewelry one's 585 Jewelry, Coins, Watches.
So you do a good portion of the business that way, or?
Yeah, I mean, it used to be 70-30, and now it's a lot more in-person sales with the growing of local collectors coming in. And
So will you buy things though in the store, like knowing that this is a good eBay sell and it's worth it, or are you just always wondering like, is this going to go in the store, and you don't even focus on the eBay?
there's
portion?
certain things that are eBay, with the electronics, broken stuff. We don't fix, we don't repair. So we ship a lot of that out to guys that do that stuff, which is good. Someone needs a part, but we've built those networks up to where we could, outsource it.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Before you guys came into the store, where were you selling stuff prior to that? Were you doing it out of home or?
Out of house and home, we still do and will do, make estate calls for the buying. If the collection's big enough, we're not afraid to go out and come to you. And then as far as sales we had an office we're doing it out of for a while. Outgrew that, as you could tell. The spaces. You've been to Estate Marketplace. Space could get filled quickly.
Definitely.
And it was time to get a shop again, so we rolled with it, and we're here. We're happy to be in Greece. It's been excellent.
It's awesome. And you guys got a great location right off of Ridge Road, so that's
Yep. Lots of cars.
good busy highway.
Yeah, brand new Starbucks right next to you.
Brand new Starbucks.
I wasn't even there when you got here.
I know.
Perfect.
We had heard, when we grabbed the spot, we heard that it was supposed to come, but you know how that goes in Greece and Rochester in general. It's like, well, business is supposed to move in and then it gets shut down.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
especially the
definitely.
food locations. And
Especially food with high traffic, but they fixed it with having the entrance exit, which was good.
Is this the strategy location for good, or
I don't know.
kind of a sweet spot? I mean, here and other places, but
Yeah, I like Greece. I think I'll always be in Greece, but I may move locations. We'll see. My mind changes all the time, and I flip flop. But I gotta stay consistent somewhere. So Greece in general, I do like. I like being out here on the west side.
so your brother Mark, he's not here yet if he shows, but he's kind of gone the whole diamonds and jewelry route.
Yep.
I try to express to people that, just like you said earlier, like the connotation of like pawn shop, you really shouldn't even open with that with you guys because it's really not. It's so much more. But he also he focuses on the jewelry and the diamonds, but he also repairs and makes them.
Yeah.
Right? He actually got certified as a jeweler. He actually soldered a charm for me the other day so it wouldn't move around.
Yep.
That kind of just, he's kind of took that and ran with it.
As I said, he definitely has more patience than I do. So when he jumped on, he's definitely more crafty, and he was able to add that on, which is definitely adds on to the specialty aspect of it. You can come here and get your jewelry repaired, sized. He's doing custom jewelry now. He's built relationships with, other diamond and gemstone dealers, so we could source different stuff for you. So it's it used to be, what walks in the door is what we have for sale, but now it's, what can we get you? Do you want a new piece of jewelry? Yeah, we can get that for you. So it's nice to have that built on now. That helps a lot.
Very
Well,
cool.
I'm sure it also helps the business having someone that just knows,
Yes.
like, oh, this is real, this is fake, and
Yeah.
you guys kind of build up your confidence as to, like,
Yep.
what is this? This sterling silver, is this real silver, stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yep. Especially, he impresses me every day when a gemstone comes in. He starts talking about it with the client. I'm just like, it looks like a rock to me. It's blue, might be, I don't know, aquamarine, but no, he's definitely taken it next level, and it's good to see. It's fun that we're brothers and we get to work together, and we do drive ourselves mad, but at the same time we really rely on each other. So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, and a lot of families don't always work well together. It kind of ruins them, but
Yeah, no, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
It definitely is. We walk it. There's some days he walks out here pissed at me. There's some days I walk out of here pissed at him. But as long as we start fresh tomorrow, that's the biggest thing.
yeah, as I say, I've known you guys for years, and you guys put on a great front, even if you guys are having issues. Because every time I come in here, if there's customers or if it's just me, you guys are.
Well, we're like right now. You're supposed to be here this morning for the podcast.
We won't give him too much
Yeah.
shit for that, right?
Bust his chops a little bit. But
So, before you got started in this, did you work in a similar industry? What'd you do before this?
sorta. I mean, I don't want to dive too much into it, but it's kind of problematic. I try to just leave that part out because that was a bad relationship I got into, and
Gotcha.
it kind of dwindled from there. But really, where my enthusiasm started was definitely about a year and a half before I opened up this one, and I had some time in my life where I really could. It was a sabbatical, really. So I took 6 months off and just I read a bunch, I learned a bunch, I bought a bunch of things I probably shouldn't have bought, but I had some extra money, so I got into more expensive habits, and watches is where that's when I got full into watches. That's when I was like, wow, this is where I want to be, and I wrote it in my goal book to start pushing towards it. And it took some time, but it's really developed, and now we have 2 lines that we actually carry. We carry a Sterling brand, which is a lower end entry level, and then we're going to grab Ocean Crawler, which is a Rochester made brand, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And how'd you guys get hooked up with them? How did you start selling those for?
Well, Sterling, I had to lie a little bit to get in. Fake it till you make it. I told them I was a watchmaker up in upstate New York. I hope they're not listening. I'm sure they're not. But yeah, I kind of just kept banging on their doors till they let me in, and that's been awesome. Selling those and being able to offer the public an affordable line that looks luxurious too.
Mhm.
And then Ocean Crawler was they were popping up on Facebook all the time, and finally I saw Rochester, New York on the dial. I'm like, that's interesting, and I googled the name, and it said assembled in Rochester. So
Huh.
called up the owner, and he was friendly, and it's like, yeah, let's sit down, let's do lunch. So next thing you know, we're carrying the line. So
That's awesome. And when are they supposed to be?
they should be
Coming
in. I got an order coming. I think a week or 2 from now.
Awesome.
That's the older line, and then he has a new line being released. I want to say in a week or 2 from now, and that line is it looks sweet. They're definitely a little bit. They're much nicer than Sterling watches. Not to put them down, but they're higher grade movements. Swiss. The cases are made in Germany, and Christian, the owner there, he is a freak about details. His watches are beautiful, and they just pop. If you're listening, just Google the name and follow the page. It's excellent. He does excellent work in Rochester, New York. Something to be proud of.
Very
you
cool.
know?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and for everyone listening, October 2019, he's talking about that he should have him in the shop.
Yes. Thanks.
So just to clarify.
Good. That was
Yeah.
good. Have you worked with any other local businesses to kind of get your name out there? How does that work for you?
Yeah, we work with a couple other jewelers in the area, some that have shops and some that do it out of house and home. Work with a couple of watchmakers too. We've developed relationships with guys outside of the area. So yeah, it's been growing. It's definitely a network. This doesn't come just from me and my brothers. A lot of people involved who've helped us, who've given us free mentorship, which is
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't thank them enough. Yeah.
That's
You've
cool.
also teamed up with like other stores like Stereo Shop and other things for
Yeah.
community events and charity.
Yep.
What is it? What was it?
Ugly Disco.
Ugly Disco.
Yep.
Done that a couple years now.
Yep.
Which kind of brings a more even local, close knit. They're a local business. You're a local business.
Yep.
So, which kind of what we drive our podcast to be, is just show people that there are these businesses and you guys and whoever it is as an individual out here in Monroe County and Rochester.
We're hoping
Yeah.
maybe to get on Max Pizzeria boxes. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
definitely something we could hook up there.
That might
Yeah.
actually happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep.
Definitely.
Sure.
But I think as business owners, you have to work together, even if you're in different industries or the same. Just help each other out. Small is good.
Looks like Mark's finally here. Walking in.
Half hour late as usual.
Sorry, we'll let him get in the door here. Mark, welcome, buddy.
I did, yeah.
So that.
Mark, everyone. Proud Passion Pride Drag podcast here. Where you been?
We're live. We're
Are you
live.
live?
Right now. Yeah. We're live.
We're talking about you.
No pressure.
No pressure.
He could edit this out. Hopefully he edits this part out. But
Honestly, it's kind of funny. We might keep it.
yeah, maybe he won't. So that's what I got to put up with. My brother's late half hour every day.
Half hour every day. That make you a half hour late though too.
Yeah, I guess we ride share, so that doesn't make much sense.
Do you really?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, the
Just
struggle's
not-
real.
Just not today.
The struggle's real.
Struggles,
It works,
real.
though. That
You know,
works.
You have to.
You should guys get like a bus working. Joey's over in Hilton. Just
I know
drop him off the
the
ways.
whole thing.
Yeah, just kind of make stops.
He stays there too late though. He's at
Yeah,
Flea
me. He's there
Marketplace
24/7 some
till- Yeah, he
days.
lives in that place.
Jeez, the size of it. I mean, you almost have to be there to make sure everything's where it's supposed
Dude,
to be.
he,
and
That's another question I had. I mean, how do you guys? And I kind of have talked to him, just because of the relationship we all have together, and he pretty much, you guys don't. You let him. He does his thing. You do your thing. You
Yeah.
you guys kind of talk and say, we just make sure everything's going good. But there's no like, I guess hierarchy or just like you're gonna do this, and it's like, you guys just know. Listen, you're good at this. You're good at this. I'm gonna let everyone do what they're doing, and we'll come together if we need to. Because, I mean, you guys run these businesses, and, I mean, I'm not sure how often you go over there, but there's no, like I said, there's a hierarchy. It just seems like you guys just really work in concert together.
The way I see it is like your strengths are your strengths and your weaknesses are going to be your weaknesses, right? So, I mean, if we just, go where our strengths are, we're going to shine, and he definitely has a lot of good strengths, and, maybe we chat about some of the weaknesses each of us have, and we try to help fill in those gaps. But as far as just letting us do what we do best, I think that's what it's all about, and that's where Rocktronics, I think, will be with us. I have my cousin Bree, who's a tech wizard, and just letting her do what she does, and then I can handle the stuff that I'll fill in the gaps for her. And that's what makes business fun, definitely. It's just that, just doing what you do best and not having anybody really breathing down your neck. You just go for it, So,
Well, and recognizing everyone's strengths and weaknesses, because
yep.
if you don't recognize that or you think you're the best at everything, it's downhill
Oh,
from
yeah.
there. There's no...
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
you can't toot your own horn in this game. You have to be humble, because you're going to get knocked on your feet quick or your ass quick.
Yeah,
So-
which, like I said numerous times, I mean, you guys are not you'll be like, nope, like, oh, it's a baseball card or whatever. I'll talk to Joey.
Yep.
You guys just kind of, it's like embedded, whereas where a lot of people, or a lot of in any business, they'd be like, "Oh, I know, let me see that," and then they have no
Yeah.
idea what they're talking about.
Mm.
I just
Or
had
they
a,
fake it.
I just had a great example of that. I think last month, Rolex was put on my table, and it was a ladies' one. It was vintage, and I looked at it and I told the person, I said, I don't think this is genuine, and the response was crazy look at me, and I go, I just don't think it's genuine. So I handed it back, and they said, why don't you open it? And I opened it, and it was a genuine Rolex. So yeah, you learn you learn that you don't know everything, and never assume, and just tread softly and productively, and I thought I was an expert. You
Yeah.
learn quickly,
Well, at least it wasn't the other way around. You thought
Yeah.
it was real and bought it.
And it
and
wasn't,
it
yeah.
wasn't, yeah. At least you got lucky that way. But yeah, it's a good example of what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
keeping yourself humble. You just if you have the mindset to always learn, you're never gonna make those mistakes. And again, nobody's perfect. I wasn't perfect in that moment, and I learned quickly. But
Sure. They
So
can
makes
show
sense.
Mark or be like, hey, Mark, look, this is actually
yeah, this is good.
a teachable moment
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Do you have any inspirations maybe that kind of got you interested in a younger age of wanting to be a business owner?
Well, if you knew me when I was younger, my head was always in the clouds. It probably still is right now. Whether it was like opening up a landscape company or like a restaurant or something. I always wanted to do something. So, I again, how I fell into this was kind of different, but I knew I wanted to be in business, and if I grow past this, which I'm assuming I will, my head will still probably be in business. Maybe helping other people open up businesses. Maybe on the the capital end of it is kind of where I see myself in a few years. But yeah, just as a young kid, head in the clouds, just wanted to do something. I would be
Yeah.
happy selling silly strings or whatever they're called.
Yep,
You know.
that's awesome.
Did you ever, like, in high school or after high school, did you ever, in your life, have you ever had to work for somebody, like you're a cashier, you're pumping gas? Or,
Yep. Yeah.
So
I
you
worked
did
at-
actually work, like, for someone before
Yep.
all this?
I worked at a local pizzeria and I loved it. It's the best job I ever had. And you'll definitely, once you open up a business, you'll appreciate being just an employee because
Yeah.
your worries are a lot less. You go there, you get your job done, and but yeah, it's not that I didn't like working for people. I liked the idea of working for myself more because I felt that my productivity level was high, and not that I wasn't compensated in other jobs for high productivity, but you're compensated better for your own self.
Yeah, you have some skin in the game and
Yeah.
a reason to try harder and
Yeah.
yeah.
So, never had a bad experience, never had bad bosses, was never anything like that where I was like a middle finger to anybody. It was just where I saw myself and just where I was the most happy when I was working for myself. And before this, I had a DJ business with my dad that I helped him with. And so I did a couple other things like that. I painted decks. I did really whatever I could get my hands on, So,
It's cool.
It's worked out.
yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, I mean, you took the right path. And any major regrets? Or, I mean, everyone has regrets in life, obviously, but
Yeah. there's a-
anything where it was like, wow, I would be here if I didn't do that? Or is it they just all small, incremental, we all make mistake regrets that didn't really affect?
I think like the thing with regrets is that the mistakes you make teach you. So if you regret those mistakes, you would have never learned, and you probably would have done it anyways. So
True.
I'd rather have those mistakes early on, even if they might be regrets. At least moving forward now. Like, okay, never do that again. Versus like 2025 comes around and now I make the mistake when there's 3 or 4 businesses going. Much more detrimental than if I did it early on.
Of course.
So it's part of the game.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see you guys keep growing.
Yeah.
And even sometimes week by week.
Yeah.
It was funny, like you guys had the state marketplace down there, and 1 month you're opening it, 6 months later you're doubling
Expanding
it,
it.
and then it's just so it's always fun to see you guys expand and grow, and you guys definitely have the social media on lockdown,
Yeah.
which
That's
a
Joey.
lot of people like to fight nowadays. Talk to Joey about that. It's silly. It's free. It's out there. Everyone can see it. People
Yeah.
that's stuck in their ways, and it's like you have Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
and you guys really crushed that too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. I couldn't imagine being in business without it. You know, just paper ads or TV. You know, it just seems so uninteractive. You know, we just did a commercial and it just, it's definitely a decent response, but you just don't know who's coming in because of it. With Facebook, you get an instant message. It's like, hey, I just saw your Facebook ad.
Right.
You know, I'm local. Let's meet up, or can I come talk to you, or do you have this for sale? You know, it's just, how would you get that with TV 15 years ago? You wouldn't, you know. Maybe coupons was the answer back then, where you like cut something out and said, I saw your ad in a paper, but Facebook is just awesome. It's
Oh yeah,
such a
now you
tool.
can see exactly like how many engagements you had this
Oh.
month, or how many people saw it, or how many people
Shared it.
yeah. I mean, just
Liked it.
the views. Joey's videos are getting 90,000 views. You can see that. I mean, at TV they can say how many people were viewing, but you don't
Yeah.
really know.
You don't know.
Or who it was. You know?
TV could have just been on.
Yeah, it could have just been on. It could have been 10-year-olds waiting for cartoons to come back
Yeah.
on. It don't matter. This is like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting that many engaged with that many views, that many.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Not to
it
mention the device is 3 inches in front of your face. You know, you
Yeah.
can't do that with TV.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
You can't. You just go blind.
Yeah. You might not have a.
yeah.
Good view
Technology's
on it.
really helped businesses, and people either let it go or they. I've always found that fascinating. I'm not a business owner in business, but just found it fascinating that it gets talked down. People are like, oh, you guys and your phones and your technology,
It's
or
a
maybe
tool.
I'm kind of ragging on the older people, but it's like, are you silly? Like, you guys had your time, and
Yeah.
you had to do what you had to do back then.
I
It's
don't know.
like this-
You see any 50-year-old with a smartphone, and they're on that more than a kid is
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah.
You know,
all
I mean,
the time
it's
too,
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's true.
switching quickly. So
Yeah.
I think social media has been huge for especially local businesses. I think, right?
Yeah, I think it's such a tool for the small business. I think it's helping us come back a little bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, specialty is what it's all about, and I
Yep.
think it's good that the new generation's calling for that. You know, they don't want big box Walmart. They want, you know, little mom and pop again that can provide a better service and definitely wants your business.
Right.
You know, I want people to come in the door. You know, people at Walmart might not want you to because it just means another person they got to cash out. You know,
Yep.
You're not going to get that here or at your pizzeria.
Right.
You know?
You get that special attention that a big box store or anything like that isn't going to afford you. So
Yeah, we have
that's-
skin in the game. We need you.
Mhm.
You know, I tell all my customers that I need you, and thank you for supporting us because I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing if you didn't come in and out the door. You know.
I definitely know firsthand that social media and Facebook works because the numerous phone calls I've answered for you guys over the years.
Yeah.
Just like, I used to answer like 12 phone calls for just PlayStations.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I saw it on Facebook, still got any? It's like, wow, like that's all I do is answer.
It's
for-
instant too.
They're just like, people see it, they want it.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than going brand new, and if they pretty much are brand new.
Think about the production that had to go on TV, like video cameras and editing and all this stuff. Like we just take a picture of it.
Yeah.
'Cause we're spoiled, honestly.
Comments, couple hashtags.
Yeah, comments, a couple hashtags, and a cool picture with the filter. You got yourself a sale. You know,
Yep.
you can grab someone from Chile, you can grab someone from Victor, just like that. You know.
Yep.
Definitely.
Oh, I can see the impact too, because like I see your stuff all the time on Instagram, Facebook, and Rocktronics, and I mean, there's even sometimes where I'm scrolling through and I'm like, wow, do I need that?
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm in that mindset and it's really something I don't need,
Yep.
imagine the person who's been looking for that screen or that LCD screen for their computer or a new MacBook that someone just didn't want.
Yep.
You guys got, and it's whatever percent off or new one, but it's
Yeah.
pretty much brand new. They scroll through, see that, and that's it. Boom, they're here. So, yeah, technology's huge. Social media. It's a wild time to. It's probably a good time, a great time to own a business.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it'll encourage more people to jump in too. I mean, look what we're doing with the podcasting. That's huge. you know?
Yeah, we're gonna see where it goes. I mean, Phil and I. Thank God Phil was with me in it because he's a whole technical guy. I can talk. Everyone knows I can talk, but
It talks too much.
editing and talk and technical stuff.
Yeah, but who would have known that talking would have been an avenue for you to venture into business? You know,
That's what a lot of people are saying. They're
only in
saying,
this day and age.
yeah, they're saying with automation and the human beings have to find, society has to find a way to go,
Interact. You
and
know,
it's like it's hard to think that people are going to find other jobs as automation or this job goes away, But really, when you think about it, over hundreds of years, over the last 100 years, a job goes away. I mean, the lamplighter was replaced by street lights.
Yep.
But guess what? Other jobs came about where it's like, oh, now we need people to do this. Now we
Exactly.
need- So yeah, it is one of those things that people don't realize, and it's almost like people don't realize that, like, they're listening to these podcasts, or they're listening to people that do this for a living, and it's weird. It's definitely a weird time.
It is. Yeah.
So
it's
people don't even
different.
think about it. They're just listening to their favorite podcast, or they're just going to their favorite place, but they don't understand, like, they don't think about the history. They don't think
Yep.
about the
Where it's developed.
yeah.
That this is actually a position.
Oh my God, jobs are gonna go away. It's like, yeah, jobs gone away forever.
Yeah.
I
They're
mean,
going to
electricity,
disappear all
yeah.
the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is a wild time. I mean, best time in history to be alive.
I think so. New opportunities all the time.
You can do almost anything now. So
Yeah.
very
Literally.
cool.
Literally anything.
So, do you have any tips or words for people who might be interested in getting into this sort of business or getting into business in general?
I'm sure I got a lot. Let me see if something comes to my head. Definitely don't be afraid to jump in. I think the barrier to entry is the barrier to entry. You know, it's kind of just like, if it's just a thought, it's always going to be that until you start doing something about it.
Mm.
And that's with everything, but, you know, just don't be afraid to jump in. If you have a passion for something, just do it, you know?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Specifically to this business, I'd say, you know, do your research, do your homework, and don't stop. You know, follow the forums, you know, see what people are buying and selling, see what they want, see what's collectible, you know, see what's going up in value. It's, this business specifically is like day trading. I don't know if any of our listeners day trade, but, you know, a different model will go up and down in price within a day,
Yeah.
within a week, you know. So you're kind of like doing a little investing, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to watch out, because you could buy something and it could lose 50% of its value overnight.
Jeez.
You know, so
That's crazy.
it's a wild market. You know, it's supply and demand. That's what it comes down to. If there's 10 on eBay, the supply is high. You know, the lowest guy is gonna get the sale, right?
Right.
9 times out of 10 at least. So just stay educated, I would say, for this business specifically.
I think that's a
You
good
know.
tip for people.
Yeah.
Which another huge advantage of technology
Yeah. Oh yeah.
is that, I mean, you can go on eBay right now,
Yeah.
and I mean, Jeff taught me this. Like, oh, but it's worth this. Look, it's selling for 600. It's like, well, no. What did the last couple sold for?
Yeah.
Oh, 400. Okay. But I mean, it's so simple though. I mean, people are on their phones all day long, and
Right.
they don't want to. They want to do what Jeff does or what Joe does, what you guys do. But they don't even want to. Instead of, you know, get off Facebook for a few minutes and check these things out, it's all there. The stats are there. The prices are there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's apps like, let's say you sell Funko Pops. There's a Funko Pop app.
Yep.
Every day that thing will be updated how much this Stranger Things Funko specific edition is worth that day.
Talk about job creation. That's a job creation for someone to make an app just for Funko Pops.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like
Yeah, I mean, it's like the technology's right there. It tells you exactly what people are buying and selling and what they're worth. And
Yeah.
it's another just great just use of the internet and technology.
it's a nice tool for us too, because again, transparency is everything. So
I was just gonna say that.
being able to like just show a customer, you know, a lot of people come in hot and heavy, like, oh, this is worth this, and because of this, and you know, when we have facts in front of them to show them, it's better than just pointing at a book and saying, oh,
Mhm.
this is what, you know, 10, 15 years ago, you would have looked at the guide, and the guide could be off a huge amount either way, in favor of the buyer or in favor of the seller.
Right.
So now it's live data. You know, this just sold 3 times yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is what it's worth, and then you have a point to go off of, at least with the customer.
What's if some people even are transparent or look at
yeah,
a guide?
yeah.
Because some people are like, I'm gonna give you $50. Well,
Just
I mean, it's
because.
worth this, and it's some of it. I don't care. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you $50. Then you come here, and you guys are like you turn
Here's
the
the
computer.
data.
You're like, here
Yeah.
it is. I have to make some money.
Yep.
And you can see them go from that hot and heavy stage you're talking about of like, nah, it's $200 all day.
Yep.
And you explain to them, well, it's selling for 170. I have the fees and I have to make this. And you actually see them like
Yeah.
go down. Oh, okay. Like you can, from like
De-escalate.
their voice gets down.
Yeah.
You can tell they're like they're not as defensive anymore. And they're like just like okay, and like they appreciate that. And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, all right, what do you offer? Because I understand now. And they're not gonna put it on eBay because I obviously don't
Right.
want to take the time.
Yeah.
So, but they want the money now. So
Yeah.
Like, I know you guys do diamonds here too. Do you guys do like Rap Report where they? Yeah. So I used to work for a diamond wholesaler, and I remember my boss would come out all the time. He'd be like, "Rap Report just said 20% off on cushion
Just like
diamonds,"
that,
and so everybody'd have to go change the prices, and
It's-
too funny. I mean, it's it's so weird to watch like the roller coaster of
Oh,
prices on stuff, especially I'm sure with your guys' jewelry and the coins and everything like that. It's got to
Gold
be
price changes
exactly.
every second. You know,
It's got to be
Silver.
insane.
It's definitely fun. It keeps you on your toes. We
Yeah.
keep CNBC running all day long
Yeah.
just to see how the market's doing. You know, as soon as Trump says something one way, the market takes
One
an
way or the
uptick.
other way.
It goes down. You know, it's like it's like a person with a lot of feelings.
That's gotta be the stuff that swings the most drastically, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if you got a painting or like a comic book, for the most part, especially if they're graded,
it's pretty stable.
you pretty much know, unless like a movie comes out or
Yeah.
someone dies,
Yeah.
famous. But other than that, but like gold and exchange or gold and silver, you're pretty much like
Yeah.
today could be today, and then tomorrow you come in like, whoa, you have to check.
Um,
You have to check like right before that second, right? Because you never know.
It's we've lost plenty of times and we've won plenty of times too. So it evens out, but like we make a slim margin on bullion specifically. You know, if you're buying 100 ounces of silver at $17 and it goes to 16, you just lost. You know,
Yeah.
and that's how
Right.
it goes. We are a dealer, so we try to guess a little bit, but you're never gonna know where it's going. If you did, I wouldn't be here. If I knew where the price was going, I'd be trading every day.
Right.
Well, and you're huge. You're the coin guy too, right? You're
Yep.
huge into the coins.
Yep.
Comics, watches too, but you're the coin also. Like, that's gotta be a
That
more
mark,
difficult.
that market's changing a lot. Definitely the enthusiasm's down a little bit, and it's getting more stable, but it's tricky. Yeah, it's definitely more tricky game to get into, and it's the barrier to entry on that one's a little more difficult because they're more expensive, and most of the people that are doing it are older guys. So I'm probably one of the younger dealers buying and selling coins, so they don't like me very much usually.
But do you think like the low enthusiasm is good because you can get in right now and then eventually it'll go back up, or just
I mean, the coin collecting's been called the king of collecting for a while. It's during the Roman times they were collecting Greek coins. So I don't think the market's going anywhere. I just think that it's cyclical, and right now it's just down. And it's down because enthusiasm's down. But if millennials jump on, or if the next generation jumps on, that's all it takes. Just a re-emergence of enthusiasm about it. I mean, to me, they're really cool.
Yeah.
You buy a coin from the colonial time period, and arguably, with the population being so low, some really famous people could have held that money.
Right.
Because you figure who had money at that time period? The wealthy.
Mhm.
It wasn't Joe Schmo. So to me, just that alone, it's just like, wow, this could
Yeah.
have been George Washington's coin. So if you're a history nut,
Yeah.
you appreciate it.
That's awesome.
know.
What's the oldest coin you've seen walk through the shop here?
400 BC.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's
Huh.
cool. Yeah, Macedonian piece, and they're not crazy. Like that piece was like $700,
Okay.
which is expensive. But again, it's like BC. We're talking 400 years BC. I mean, that's crazy.
that's
Yeah.
wild.
Some
You
guy.
even try to wrap your head around that.
Yeah. It's just like
Like, oh, that's just chilling back and like,
yeah.
it's weird to wrap your head around something like
So
that.
yeah, again, if the enthusiasm, like I just made you guys smile about it. If the enthusiasm re-spikes, that's all it takes. More buyers.
Mhm.
The stuff's cool. It really is a rich history in it, and I try to get young kids started. If I see an older gentleman of the coin collecting era, in his 60s, 70s, and he's got his grandson or granddaughter with her, I try to get him started in a little buck, just collecting pennies,
That's
and
cool.
hopefully that spikes a little bit. So
That's definitely one area I see people. They think they have a huge, like, wealthy collection of
yeah,
coins,
yeah.
but they were just like the 1999 special on the TV.
State quarters.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is worth,
So wait, I should get rid of my state quarters,
Yeah.
is what you're saying?
I think I got one on the wall. Is it
Yeah,
gone?
I know. I should
Oh,
take
dude.
that off because, that's probably the hardest part about the job is letting people down when they think they got the $1 million piece. It used to be funny, but now it's just kind of like an annoyance. And I mean that in the nicest way, but I just feel bad when it's like, you know, Grandpa's pocket watch wasn't worth $1 million, but it's still worth a few hundred.
Right,
You know, be
right.
happy about that.
Right.
Yeah, they get themselves all psyched up.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else? Anything else you want to tell everyone? What's coming up soon? Any specials? Any deals?
I think we did pretty good. You guys let me talk for a while here. Any specials? Again, I'll just hammer home the fact that we got that new line coming in, Ocean Crawler, and look them up, check them out. I got a 10-piece order coming through. The new line will say Rochester, New York, right on the dials.
Cool.
It's just a really, really cool watch. Starting price I think is $1,000 on them, but it's a great bang for your buck, considering what's inside of them with the movements that they have, and you know, the attention to detail that Christian puts on them. Check those out when they come in. That's probably my latest and greatest. And if you guys are looking for repairs, custom orders, custom pieces, see Mark. He is making some serious waves.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We'll come see him. Grease Golden Tech Exchange on Westridge. It's right before the new Starbucks in Long Pond.
Look for the van. That usually helps.
Yep, van's right out front. And going over to State Marketplace as well.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to see. You never know if you got stuff to sell. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you being
Thanks for
here.
having us.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
appreciate
of course. We'll have to swing back in however long, see how you guys are doing. I'm
Cool.
sure by the time this is even out, you'll have opened 2 more stores or something.
Maybe.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks.
And don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And if you're interested in being interviewed on our podcast, give us shoot us a message there.
Yeah, shoot us a message and check us out every Tuesday.
All
See
right.
you.
See you.